he instills this sort of life in them. Like, you can make these plays as well. You're better than I am, so why don't you do that as well? Which, it works, but it's, there's a certain degree, like there's a certain point where it will not have the same effect.
What's the art of hero plays, really?
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of working out,
This is,
when things like this should happen.
although Rops started off the same as last map, to be fair, so...
Yeah. And Rops is absolutely giving it. He's just going to carry on with
Ooh.
the fight. This is not the way the round is supposed to go when you all run down mid. But Rops is having a field day with it as everyone is dead. It's literally just a 1 versus 4 already.
I couldn't tell you where Rops actually was for most of that. Just the fact we saw 3 different players die at very different locations.
I think that was all just from like top T steps. He literally he creeped up just as they got down to like half mid, and he just went to town.
Just peeked over and over again.
Just started taking the fights.
in hand. The Joe Lesalou special, is this viable?
Very viable.
I approve. 3 kills.
That's wild. All right, well that's
All
one way to
headshots.
start things off, I guess.
He's carrying on from last map. I'm going to Frozen carry on as well. Frozen was one that closed out that last one as well. That 3k 1v2. So MVP, there was the other thing as well. So when they lost that pistol last map, they got that plant. They had about 3.1k on.
Okay.
He's nearly got the fifth.
These rounds are bizarre.
That's
already.
one of the dream ones as well, where you do just, they all line up beautifully.
Just keep shooting.
But as I was saying, like, they didn't force when they could have. We've seen a lot more teams force in that second round recently. MVP seemed to be sticking with the actual we'll buy third every time pretty much, no matter what. So we're seeing the buy come through now as that throwaway round we saw. Which means the utility, it's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. To be fair, you got 3 Molotovs, 4 smokes. It's not bad. It's not great though, but it means you've only got 1 Molotov for Banana unless you bring over a player, which they haven't done. So the Banana control comes through. That's a very deep Molotov. No!
Oh, this is rough. Walk sick.
I don't know what they've done with that Banana control. There was no smoke at the bottom. There was nothing.
I mean, at least there's a little bit of a helping hand. Woxic just just tried to go straight in for the commit.
Oh my god, as if they've actually... Woxic just goes flying in, the classic 2-kill rule.
Oh, everyone's rotating
But
as well.
they're just going through apartments. They're so concerned about Banana that mousesports will have a free site. The smoke will come into mini pit. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
You might as well save.
Yeah, this is literally your round at this point. You've got 3 players over there. No one has a kit. No one really has anything to try and give them that tactical edge going back into it. Call it quits from this point, save the free weapons, and then it's not going to be as bad of a round as it could have been. I mean, they're quite lucky, actually. The Woxic did commit to just the instant sprint in.
Yeah.
I'll go for the hero play, and luckily died.
I just don't understand it, though. Like, just on the basis of... When you do that Banana control, the classic is, if you've got a third player there, which there was, he threw a flashbang for them.
Yep.
So you Molotov towards that cubby sort of area, you then Molotov halfway up as well. That way, no terrorist player could actually get advanced up there without taking Molotov damage. They did that to half of it. One of the Molotovs went too far. But there's meant to be a smoke at the bottom of Banana, either thrown by one of the Banana players or thrown from one of the CT at the back. Neither of them did it. Woxic then gets an opportunity to peek it before they put a smoke down themselves. He kills both of them because they're both in the same line. That's the basic stuff, though. That's stuff you should be doing at a top 50 team level.
Yeah.
Not, in Cologne. There's such a difference there. And MVP, they've already used tactical timeout. And I can't help but feel like that's the A players thinking, what happened?
What's gone wrong here?
What went wrong? You both died in the same second.
Yeah.
For one.
Yeah.
There was an error.
It did all go wrong.
So I don't know. Like, they'll be talking about what the buy's going to be. CHSK is already committed to grenades and armor, so they're going to buy into it because the 3 players saved. But it's just concerning when you see that happen in the first buy round, of all places, too. And that was a bonus round as well for most of Mousesports because they have passed the Mach 10 on as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an ideal start. So it's the fact as well, this is them on their CT half, after what happened last time. Yeah, where we need to see them actually get some rounds here on their CT half, rather than obviously it being sort of the last stepping stone they try and save their lives on. It's not a great way to start it, but obviously early doors. Then we will see where it goes from now. A lot more aggressive towards Banana as well. Very odd fight already.
I was watching the radar for the nice grenades that the nice Vlads at HQ have obviously provided. So they introed with the smoke this time, and then the Molotovs.
Yeah.
So that's the difference immediately. But they're going to be facing a pop flash here for XIGN on the bottom. Oh.
Oh no. I mean, they got the tag off at least to try and lower the health pools of some of the players, but everyone's actually now coming out to play. The positions have worked out well. It looked like this round was going to be a bit of a throwaway, but they've done a very good job of actually cleaning it up on the balcony burst. They made complete mincemeat out of everyone.
Yeah, there was a nice recovery. I mean, it felt like there was quite a delay of them going out the apartments there, though. Like, we were on the period of the quad player, right? We saw him falling back. He gets fully blinded by that flash.
Yeah.
But it was a good, 2 seconds until he was unblinded, and then there still wasn't a player even in pit. Normally the first player or second player will jump out to the left, won't they? Just to split the attention. But there was none of that. If they split the attention, very different outcome.
Could have actually been a different round, yeah. Well,
but as you said, it was a bonus round, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you instantly give Woxic an AWP as the response back into it, and he's just sprinting as he charges his entire way up mid. Doesn't even need to get the opening pick, as Frozen will do the damage for him.
It feels like there's a battle like on 3 different areas on this map within the first 30 seconds every round, more or less.
Oh, okay. Well, they just try and go for the all-out bombardment through mid. 2 players run through the smokes, isolated at that point. No real room for the trades to come back through. They get a kill from either side of Quad and Arch, and now fall into a bit of a stalemate. There's 3 players alive on the side of mousesports, but Frozen is barely alive, limping around 11 HP. They have a minute to still try and make this round into something winnable, and they have set their gaze back over towards the A site.
The good thing for MVP is they're both double sight. However, it means that one of them has to watch for this Arch wraparound just in case. I'm not too sure why they rotated a player towards B anyway with a player near the bottom mid. But that's not the way you want to intro this defense either. They get 1 kill from the 2 players there. It's only 2v2 though. Very winnable. It's just you need to do better on that side.
Difference is there is still utility.
What is that smoke?
Oh, in play for mousesports. It just depends how they opt to actually use it. Instead, though, they're completely isolated. The 1v1 fight's coming through. Frozen with the timing. Has the Molotov in his hand. And it isn't going to work out well for him. Pit now becoming his grave as he goes down and loses that round. Another one going the way of MVP as HSK was able to clean up on the retake.
Yeah, as I said, that A-site defense, it should have been much better than what it did provide, right? I mentioned one player was looking towards Arch. Somehow that player dies first. I'm not sure like why he felt a need to peek or anything like that. You're in a setup where one player on the single box, you're watching Arch, he can cover your back. Like there's no way for a player to get there. But because of how many casualties MVP are having each round here, Mouse get another buy-in. They had a plant. Mac 10's, it is full head armor. Ooh. 2 HP. No chance for a trade unless Chris J commits. He does trade it though.
Okay. Well, Chris just goes in swinging, hits him with a windmill, and takes down 1. It is a disadvantage for the T's from this point, but at least they got a pick back. Going over towards the 2-player setup on A. They're going to stick 2 per site now as the rotation arrives just in the nick of time over towards B. The bomb is still gravitating towards there, and Woxic looking to try and see if he can gain anything. Scavenger weapon here potentially as he advances further up.
So there's so many grenades still available on MVP. Like Gazeta, he's rotated back to this B side of the AWP. He's got a full set of grenades. Like he'll use his smoke. There'll still be another one on site as well. However, Carrigan's position changes things quite a bit. The issue is it's a player at new box and a player at back right pillar. Carrigan can't really deal with these players too well unless he goes via ruins. Which if he does, depending on the time, that's all about the timing. They've got plenty of time still. You could throw a flash over the wall to try and distract them, I guess, as he makes this move. He's won the timing, hasn't he?
He gets behind him. Oh, somehow Zeta's spidey sense starts tingling, and he flips his way back around. HSK as well, hoping to try and give him a little bit of aid here as the push comes through. Very nicely done with a 1-hit combo, both of them taking down the person they needed to pick. At that point, it does get tied up 3 apiece, as both of these teams now have actually given us a bit of a game.
And mousesports actually go for a timeout as well. So mousesports have got the new coach, haven't they? I'm trying to remember. I can visualize his name, but it's one of those weird ones. But anyway, he seems to be a very like motivated kind of guy,
right?
In the sense that if you saw any of them, like North coach, for example. When they actually got knocked out of the tournament, he was incredibly like heartbroken. He felt like he was the reason they lost, which is
goddamn.
that was a best of three mapper as well.
Yeah,
mousesports' coach is very much in the same, like, he's that emotionally invested as well. To have that sort of impact, I feel like when you've got a coach like that, it changes the way the players approach the game so much more, because they know he's just as invested as you are, right? Instead of having a coach who's not just stealing a paycheck, but like is only there to do a pre-match thing and then nothing else.
Yeah.
If they're there during the game, they're like, okay, we need a pause. I've got an idea. Having Carrigan have somebody else like that as well. Obviously, we saw his impact with Robban. Robban was more of a motivational guy, apparently, in the past. He was much more of a help Carrigan stay composed and everything. He also had Zonic as well with some of his time at Astralis. Like, you know he's capable of working with a coach like that.
Ooh.
They've got one more flash.
But it all comes down to the timing here, really, of when the Horde is going to strike. Everyone grouped up, waiting to try and bombard their way in towards the site. Good pick comes through. Zeph is going to be able to eliminate Woxic. That's the bomb drop down. Rops eventually gets a trade, but it's too little too late, actually. Maybe he can still build from this. Gets the follow-up frag. Zeta rotates over. Scopes in, snipes down Carrigan to push them further into a beautiful position here into the round. Chris, unfortunately, couldn't get himself a better bit of firepower, but still has a P250, and he's in a close range angle. Can he punish? If he can try and backstab and cause some kind of delay, he could actually save Rops' bacon in this scenario. Still just lurking, waiting for the right moment to try and play. It all depends on how this goes with Chris. Has to walk through the smoke. The backstab comes around. They go for the 1-for-1 trade, and still just left on Rops, wasting time towards the site. Stacks walks his way out. Realizes he doesn't have much time now. Does have a kit. Rops tries to take the fight towards him.
No time.
Dents the fountain, and he's won it off the back of the time.
Stacks pulled away from that site quite early.
Yeah.
Considering he has a kit, I think he was more focused on potential AWP, wasn't he?
He didn't want to be there.
He didn't get it either.
No.
So, like, look at their money. The money wasn't great. There's probably better of them risking him trying to win the round at that rate, because that AWP was quite far away.
You've actually
and a tactical time was
got as a return for your investment there.
So they have to talk about what the buy is going to be because of that. Ugh. That's another awkward round to lose, though. When you consider the round that they lost to lose Vertigo, it was to pistol armor. That one's arguably worse, just on the basis of you've got the first 2 kills. The other player on site hasn't really done much of anything, actually. He got baited so hard by the swing from, I think it was Chris J who crossed, as well as Rob speaking at the same time. Yeah. 2 kills isn't enough from your banana hold when it's Kevlar pistols, essentially. Like, where were the Molotovs? Where were the HEs? Like,
well, they were all using like the first 10 seconds of the round.
And they just didn't do much.
But, yeah.
Like, the effectiveness, I don't know.
Well, it was all thrown down towards like super deep bottom banana as well, so they expected probably just like a fast burst, I guess, but...
You have to take the precaution about that top banana, though, don't you? That wall is such a dangerous area. Potential of a wide swing or anything. So MVP took that pause. They then decide not to buy into this round. Instead, there's some pistol armor, some grenades here and there. It's not fantastic. Does make me wonder where they're hoping to win the round. It looks like it'll be towards quad side that they're hoping to win it, though. Hoping that the gun under quad doesn't pull a grenade out when walking across.
Oh, dude, the timing of these has been so awful every time. And it's just constantly just being gifted over to mousesports there. Got the follow-up kill as well, because you could see the feet through the smoke. Luckily, there will be a bit of a trade back, but it's not really going to last for too long. Chris J decapitating on his way through as he's slicing his way in towards the bomb site, just leaving them in a 4 versus 2. They are trying to get a position, coming back around, going through second mid into apps. HSK is there with a CZ in his hand. Zeph as well. Rotates over towards arch side, casts out a smoke towards quad to at least try and put a seed of doubt in their mind. But in reality, probably just scavenging the weapons and getting out of there is what they're actually going to look for here, as I doubt they'll find much else.
So that's the 1 AK. But how far back? The M4 is probably about halfway between the truck and the pillar, isn't it? HSK, he can protect. Oh, actually, if he's able to run out and damage them when they're in the corner.
He could try it.
Ideally, it should have been Zeph doing this, though, just because of the armor. But I suppose keep his Kevlar. There's no reason to lose $650, especially when he bought down to $1850. Rob actually did die there. He sat in graveyard.
Huh.
I don't know.
he's just not bothered.
He just sat on the staircase in graveyard. I'm not really sure what
this
to think
is how
about
confident he is.
Yeah, he's not even afraid of the bomb. He's died to the bomb twice now, actually. kind of a wild one, but
He doesn't give a damn.
5-3 lead for mousesports. MVP have already used 2 tactical pauses already this half as well. I don't think I've ever seen a team use all of their pauses possible, like in a series. Thinking about it.
Especially not all in one half.
Yeah,
which is
like if you break it down. Ooh.
Oh, hello.
Woxic's had too much fun jumping around there with his AWP, hasn't he?
Well, we need to see some kind of aggression. I mean, it's a game of push and pull, but there hasn't really been much response from MVP in terms of if they're going to go for the aggression now to try and bring it back again. Because it didn't work in the first couple of rounds, obviously completely countered. But we need some kind of life from them. Going into this, though, already it's been a great start. You've got the 2 initial picks onto the board. Karrigan and Woxic have been taken down. Not much of a retaliation either from Mouse. Chris J as well, losing 40 HP, leaving him on just 60 is going to be a bit more awkward. Luckily, he does have his trusty AWP in his hands.
Yeah, you see the awkward position Zeph has left himself in, where he's kind of sitting in speedway, ready to rotate back if things do go bad. HSK, ooh. The shot goes through, so the rotate gets pulled back, and he actually tagged Frozen with the AWP then. Bit awkward. It's not been a great one for Chris J so far this series. Hoping to make amends with that AWP.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's given him a bit of a love tap, so maybe the extra camaraderie will be what they need to see their way through this round as he taps his teammate with that big green gun. They're sprinting towards the site, though. Rops is going to go first, gets the angle instantly onto HSK. Rops, even when you're at point blank, you can't execute the man as he carries on, just being dastardly as ever. A third headshot thrown into the mix as he continues to just be the one-man army that mousesports need.
And that's a save. So, Rops is 2k there. So HSK, he was sat on new boxes holding that same angle he held, I believe it was on round 5.
Yeah.
Which was the round where Zeta had the AWP, didn't he, towards new box, towards Coffin. So he's held that off angle, he got a kill on, I think it was Rops as well. When he jumped up straight in the corner, you're in the perfect line, he just takes you down. Rops jumped up the slightly off angle on it, right hand swing into it, kills him immediately. HSK can't do anything about it. So he's used the repeat position where he has previously had success on it, in the same half, thinking they won't adapt.
Try it again.
Which, yeah, that's just an error where, against a lesser opponent, it probably would work.
Yeah.
However, Rops is very much up to you on, he knows his games, right? He's peeked that angle before.
He knows your tricks.
Yes, he knows all the magic tricks. And he's not threatening to reveal them.
No.
And that's the third pause.
They've gone for another one.
So they'd used 4 by round 10, last map. 3 by round 9 so far. So bear in mind that, because it was MVP's pick last map, it meant that mousesports got to choose the side. So them choosing CT last map was quite unusual anyway. Which meant that MVP were on their favourite side because they felt Vertigo is T-sided anyway. They've chose CT side here, and they faced them, so they've got themselves down again, 6-3. It's very much panic mode for them by looks of things, because their normal play is not working. It just feels like they haven't got enough of a playbook. Like, as in, like, they haven't got enough of an adaptation playbook where we can change this, or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've literally already sort of hit that brick wall of we've tried everything we can do. Yeah. What do we do now? And then it gets to a point where you sort of have to delve into chaos a little bit, try different things, and obviously really sort of, at some point kind of throw caution to the wind and just sort of do some crazy plays in there for the sake of it to try and give yourself a potential outlook on looking at things, because it's been banana as well. We've seen just so many weak points of the actual defense that have allowed them to push their way back through. This B site has not been holding up against the test of time very well. And once again, they're going to be heading back over there. Tons of utility to play over on the side of mousesports as the squad gets ready to bombard their way in.
They've committed to having all the pistols on this site as well. So that smoker coming through. Karrigan's actually going to send himself in.
Ooh.
The counter flash is beautiful.
Yeah, so blind he couldn't actually respond. Will be eliminated. Chris J comes through though. The nade on nade collaboration there.
Oh, this could be bad news.
Blows them out of the bomb site. They've completely rused them though as they are going to be sprinting over towards the A site.
However, one flash.
It just depends on this hold, really. There's still 2 of them in position underneath quad. This is where the rifles are. But the rifles don't have that much success over the elevated angle. Will give them something to work with. 2 kills and a bit of damage coming across as well. Zeth, he arrives just in the nick of time, but it does not matter. He couldn't be the harbinger of death and actually get a kill picked up. At this point, it all comes down to Zeta. He's going to try and recover the AWP in the smoke if he can walk over it, but he doesn't know where it is. This is going to be so awful for him. 1v2, Frozen on 51, Woxic on 11. They have an AK and an AWP to play with, a little bit of utility as well, thrown in there for good measure. And Zeta just holding his own. At this point, basically calling it quits. Doesn't have the kit. If he could try and salvage something or at least get the kill on the exit, that's probably his best bet.
Yeah, exit's definitely the best bet. The money on mousesports actually isn't that great, all things considered, but MVP, he's hoping to be able to scavenge just that AK, hoping it blasts off a bit further back. But he should... Oh, well, no, he's moved the wrong way, isn't he? He just about got to it. I was thinking, why did he come towards mid?
I think he did see the gun that was at quad, but I guess, obviously, the bombast is literally...
Yeah,
no.
That's never going to blast it like that way. So he does save that AK, which will save some money for one of the banana players. So HSK, the headshot king, with a headshot weapon.
The big man AK coming out to slay with. Let's see if he can actually get a couple of those tasty taps off this time.
3 banana. Or
if again, it will be the same play coming through from mousesports. The early Molotov towards banana there. So Chris is actually trapped this time. It's a nice little bit better. There you go. They finally get to utilize the double nade as well. And they're pushing down for banana control. So they should be able to actually make this work way better for them. Woxic giving them a gift as well. Barely missing that shot. Puts them into position for MVP to actually now have complete banana control and force the hand of mousesports. It looks like they're just going to go in for the play to A-site off the back of this.
It's a really good setup though. Kind of hard to get past it. Although that smoke has actually messed up the setup quite a bit. It means the site gets isolated a bit. He has to drop off.
Oh, this could be rough. It depends on the timing and the push coming through. Carrigan will only get one. Carrigan continuing to assert dominance over them right now towards the bomb site, but he wasn't prepared for the backstab. Frozen. And the close quarters. 1v1 eventually punches his way through. Has to get the tap off with a P250, and he can't do it. Zeph sprints in. Rugby tackles him down, and somehow that round goes away. I don't know. I don't know.
I've never quite seen a P250 battle that close in such a...
Just both point blank from each other, just crouching around the site.
God, that's such a crazy situation. But you could see how awkward that defense was there. Like, you know, he drops off the balcony. Wops was struggling to get out of the balcony in the first place. But Woxic, there's another timeline there where Woxic does actually get multiple kills. That's a really nice entry.
Uh-oh.
They saw... Oh my word, they actually peeked back again. He peeked back into the right ring of fire.
It's wild the way we've actually been seeing this banana control come down as well, because it can go either way. Literally all of these rounds, it's been so sort of just down to the luck of the draw of who's actually hitting their shots in like the wacky way they've both been playing it. So it's wild. It really could have been anyone's game. At this point though, mousesports, it wasn't working out well for them, but Carrigan's been able to reinvigorate the round, opens it up with a tasty headshot there. Puts them into the 3 versus 4. A minute left from the clock as they fight over towards the A site. Not going to work out well for the defense, Ben. And this is where the retake has to be absolutely flawless. mousesports, they've got control. Rops is going to plant the bomb. In terms of the utility, they have 1 smoke and 1 HE on Frozen. He's going to throw out that smoke as well. That'll go up, block off over towards Mini Pit.
To save.
Yeah, they're going to get that round every time.
It's such an awkward situation because, like, typically, if you manage to lose a player towards banana, he's got evidence or enough to believe that there's 3 players there. So typically, as soon as there's an AWP there, you probably assume there's 2 rifles with him, just to, as a precautionary. Normally, the team's reaction is just straight go up mid, we'll go up quad fast, we'll try and take advantage of the fact there's only 2 players there. mousesports have done that the last 2 rounds. Obviously, last round, they just didn't win the firefights as well as they should have. This round, they kind of changed the way they wanted to do it. Obviously, Carrigan's lurk through arch side. He actually gets that kill. Oh, he avoids the flashbang that got thrown, but gets that kill. The crazy swing with the Krieg. He does very well with it not zoomed in. Kind of crazy. But everything seems to be going really well for them right now. They've got 8 rounds on their T side. MVP will have chose to start on CT.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where saving's not good enough.
Well, you need rounds.
Yeah. Like it's all well and good investing into your T side, thinking, oh, our T side's pretty good. We can do quite well from that. There's a limit, right?
Ooh. That's unfortunate for Zeph as well. That actually been the second time he would have been able to get a big early opener and really put his mark onto the round, but not able to. Oh, Chris with the timing again. We're going to see another man caught with his pants around his ankles, trying to use the nade, but it doesn't work. The peak comes out. Chris gets the shot off, kills Zeph. Close range combat as well, going down towards mid. The Deagle, Mac's going to get 1. Frozen will trade it back. and this is not looking great already. The CZ just charged through the trailblazing play, but Rops will be the one to extinguish everything and save it for mousesports. Round 14 as it's 9-4. Mouse soaring ahead, absolutely just margins ahead now over MVP. And they're still looking like they're not showing much signs of really slowing down as well with the aggression they've been taking into these rounds.
The worrying bit for MVP is they found success going triple banana.
Yeah.
However, Mouse have clearly identified how to counteract that. We'll send one player towards it. He might get a kill or damage. And sometimes, you know, it feels like you probably could do even better, right? But otherwise, they just go fast towards mid. So that's why you see the arch smoke come out pretty much from the get-go by mousesports here. But I think this is a different strategy. They're not going to go fast towards mid. They recognise as well MVP have stopped playing close quad, close arch with their actual rifles. They always fall back. The only time they play it is when they're stacked as like a 3. And I think they're planning to go back to banana here. Just on the basis that Chris J is still towards T stairs. They'll get brackets control. And after that, they're going to try and force off Zeta upon banana. So Woxic, he's ready to peek. Chris J's just flashed it. Woxic's about to peek. He pushes him off. And that's enough. Zeta doesn't have any grenades. He has to. Normally we see Device in that position, don't we? Quite often.
Yeah.
Where he's at the wall, he'll have his AWP out, and he'll then smoke, Molotov, whatever, delay them. Instead, he has to take the fight, which is far from ideal, especially when he gets tagged through the corner of the wall. And that's why you can see Zeph pulling back. But Zeph doesn't have any grenades either. Like the CT side, they've got 1 smoke left. If they lose an entry here, it's complete panic for the A players.
Ooh,
That's such a big gun barrel.
Yeah, spotting out the massive barrel there.
Ooh, it's a good fight to win. But what are they doing?
Oh no, they all walk into each other. Frozen's able to make a quick meal out of the both of them at this point now. They can advance towards the site as well. Hiding away, cowering in the pit could be the last lifeline for MVP.
Frozen thinks he's in amps. This is a huge play. Just on the side. Okay, he's got another 15 seconds to wait, really. That smoke going down, unless he gets contact. Chris J.
Chris jumps into him, sparks the round, but the Revolution's going to die out pretty damn quickly. Frozen with the trade back. The tap through the smoke. Zeta left on just 9 HP. Frozen. He spooked them enough. They're going to have to just back off. They've got to save it one more time. It's going to be a 10-4 scoreline. They're going to save it going into the last round of the first half here and try and have some firepower to play with. But they need rounds right now. This is going to be 10-4. It could shape up to an 11-4 half here if Mouse carry on.
I just don't know what they were doing on Arch.
I don't know.
Because you should never be overtaking each other on that angle unless it's like an AWP, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, because then an AWP can hold that angle straight. But when a rifle's doing it, you're both going to be like, the rifle's going to be in and out peak. You're not going to stand there and hold the angle. It doesn't work. Very awkward scenarios here from MVP. But they have kept 1 tactical pause for next half, though. So watch out when that comes in.
That's up their sleeve, just in case. That'll be the one. That's always the turning point, it seems. Well, round 15. Woxit kicks it off. There you go. Flying his way up mid. It's a little bit more of the classic Woxit we expected to see.
That's a lot of damage with the Molotov.
That's actually ticked quite a few times, yeah. Or Carrigan as well. It's an awkward spray coming through. Slippery fingers as he misses the kill onto the HSK. Woxit will trade it back, though. Zeph as well, over towards the arch, just trying to cut his way through and eliminate the competition, but he is not able to. And it all comes down to HSK in a 1 versus 3. They've got the site control, the bomb's gone down as well. They're going to be able to build off the back of this round. It should be an 11-4 half, unless something absolutely ludicrous happens with HSK. 2 flashbangs to his name, walking out, his back exposed. Luckily, Frozen creeps away. The timing is there for him. He gets the first kill with a headshot coming out. He can chuck the flash across and sprint in. Looks like he is just going to go straight through the smoke into the fire and will burn to a crisp, as that one will go the way of mousesports. Simply dominating right now. Again, looking very similar than it did on Vertigo. Is there going to be a resurgence for MVP? Will mousesports lock it down? We'll find out after the break. 11-4 is the scoreline currently. Currently the score, Ben. Currently, Ivor, as mousesports have been absolutely thrashing their way through, looking as good as ever. The first pistol round was absolutely outrageous. Will this one be equally as crazy? Woxic, he's just able to stand there and snipe his way down. Gets the first kill. However, Zeta trades it back with the Glocks, and already they're just trying to body slam their way in towards the B site. They've just realized there was a monster lurking at the top of Banana, though. That's Chris J who's ready to beat them down. They get the pick over towards A, and everyone's going to go for the mass rotation over. It's a 2 versus 3 into the round. MVP, they've got site control.
If I remember correctly, that's the same pistol that G2 ran in the Pro League finals against Liquid.
Yeah.
Which we didn't actually see. That was a quite aggressive retake by
That
Chris
was just
J,
a
wasn't
bold
it?
move. Chris has just gone in instantly.
There's no kit, so I guess it makes sense, but surely you do it as a pair.
You could have tried to do it as the double act and try and, you know, see what happens there. Instead, you've just left Rops in the 1 versus, well, 1 versus the world, really, as he's trying to at least find a kill. USP in
might
hand.
as well save.
He
You've
got
got full
armor.
armor.
Yeah. There's the dink. And there's the death.
Yeah, when Carrigan got killed then, so he peeked second mid balcony.
Yeah.
But he must have stayed for quite a while because he got dinked then. He was running down the balcony, ran out. He got hit twice through the box for 1-in-1. I saw his health go 4, 3, 2. I was like, is he going to somehow live and get the kill and make this be ridiculous, like, point of view thing? But that Molotov at top of Banana, that's so unlucky. Because that happens sometimes though. It'll like bounce in between the barrels, but it'll go off, but it'll just be stuck.
Yeah, it spreads inside there, and that's sort of like the artificial wall rather than it spreading.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Didn't get a tag.
Oh, he's confident for the reface though. Yeah, he just keeps trying.
Yeah,
eventually gets the tag off. Goes down.
Headshot king.
No, he's living up to his name at least. Chris as well. Scout in hand, ready.
The Scout King.
Yeah.
Really, to be fair, isn't he?
He is indeed. I mean, he set a level of precedence with that weapon a long time ago, and it still
still
comes
holds,
up.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite a... When it comes to belts held, Scout King, or the Scout Champ.
Oh yeah, he was
Scout
king
champ.
of the Scouts. He was the king of the Scouts. Oh, okay. We've got actually quite a large rotation going on. The big migration here for winter.
They pulled away.
Yeah, they've decided against it.
So it was just because of that initial CT smoke that they thought, okay, we'll risk it. However, they've made the correct move for this, though. You're going to have 2 scouts towards mini pit, which if you're coming around quad, that's such a horrible... You know, you just get double tagged each way through, and then a peek from Carrigan or a flashbang could be the greatest thing ever.
Carrigan.
Oh my word! He was so
Giving a hug in the pit. Robster's one with the deagle somehow gets all of the kills as they push towards the site. And at this point, we're just left in a 1 versus 1. It's all just happened. It's all popped off in a matter of seconds. Rops has done an ungodly amount of work once again. And look at the fear right now. 20 seconds. He was so paranoid about the fact someone would have been close by. Instead, gets off the free plant. Frozen arrives. The Biggie Smalls gun in his hands. The Mac 10. But can he prove it? He is a Mac Daddy in the round. And actually clutch this one out for mousesports. Slowly bobbing his way towards the bomb site, spots him with a flicker cross, gets the kill. Oh, is able to bail them out once again. Another round for mousesports as it will go 12-5.
I was there hyping up the double scout. I didn't realise that Rops had picked up Woxic's scout.
Yeah.
He already had a deagle still. And the deagle close range, if you can spam it, you're going to get many kills with it. Especially when they all come through the same little entrance.
They all just run straight into him as well, point blank with a... I mean, that's kind of like the dream as well. Just body shots.
You don't even
just
need him there. There's 2 body shots, you know, that range. But that's another round where MVP technically, I wouldn't say ecoed, but you've been ecoed essentially.
Yeah.
It's like a below, what, 12,000, 13,000 eco equipment value? It's by no definition an actual buy. Chris J's only got a deagle here.
Woxic's already on 31 as well.
He just loves taking the fight.
Yeah. He takes that firefight towards mid every time. Just got tagged across by the scout from Zeta instantly into the round, so leaves him very, well, soft and supple now. Like a sponge, Ben.
Like a sponge.
Yeah, like a Victoria sponge.
Oh. I suppose the scout is an interesting buy when you're on the force buy on T side. I always find it a bit awkward, especially on Inferno. I don't know. There's not that many places you can get an impact in, I feel. Just Molto comes through. That's the guarantee that it is a force buy 100%. They've invested in utility here. Chris J is still Flying Dutchman peeking.
Chris has just been so confident in the faces, as per usual, though. Oh, nice nade as well. Yeah, that's big. That'll actually slow down the push ever so slightly and do a little bit of damage. Inflict onto actually 2 of them as well. Map control trying to be gained as they try and put at least someone out of his shroud over towards the brackets. But Chris, he's ready for the fight. And they're coming out blind as well. He gets one towards Zeph to open it up with a 50 cal. They respond, smoking over towards CT. Carrigan, the perfect timing. He's just going to sit in it as well. Frozen also shrouded by the smoke. It depends how blocked they actually are from their point of view. Frozen starts to decimate as he gets the flick across. At this point, though, they're left into the 2 versus 3, and it's going to be a hard task from here. Woxic is on the scene. What can he actually achieve with his scout? Ooh. Nearly the shot through the smoke. Just spamming away.
HSK, oh, they've double pushed. Yeah, I was going to say he was stuck at pool. They need to make a move.
Oh. Gliding through the air, the MAC-10 going to rip its way through the first. They've got the bomb site though, Ben, and they can still try and win it from this point. Rops taps it to try and force the face. They run out so exposed. They went 1 by 1 as well, but he couldn't actually get the pick. MVP saved themselves around finally as they pick one up, giving themselves a 6th to play with.
Yeah, there wasn't too much communication there from Frozen and Carrigan, if I'm honest. So like, Frozen makes the same move that Carrigan does, essentially. Like they both commit to the same push through the smoke, or at least push into the area that they run into, right? It's all well and good that one of you makes that play. But if both of you are making the same play, you're both going to get blinded by the same flash. We saw that from Carrigan's point of view. If he'd just pushed after the flashes bloomed through his smoke at CT, might have been a very different, playthrough right there.
Oh, Chris.
That was so close. Ooh. Oh, no. Lovely nade.
And the follow-up Molotov as well. I mean, they're low. That's actually done an awful lot to at least push them back and make them really susceptible to attack here on the B site. But they did have that smoke up their sleeves. They wait until their Molotov's about to extinguish, chuck it over, and block off the path to at least burn down some time on the clock here. They do have the other smoke as well onto Chris, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Curious how Woxic's actually going to play this. Looked like he was just sitting close in the smoke.
Be interesting to see how he does with the 5-7 though.
Yeah.
That's first time we've seen him have it, I suppose. Because he's had money in the previous rounds and last map especially. You can see Frozen's risking the rotate because he has a smoke. Because this smoke's going to fade in the next 5 seconds. That smoke going through, Molotov's going through. It's full execute. Frozen doesn't. He actually tagged Woxic.
Oh. Woxic's trying to play though, just hiding in the smoke. They're actually bypassing him. They're getting around him. No one's just randomly spammed it either. So lucky to not get tagged by Zetter. He strikes, takes down the bomb. Carrigan as well comes through. At this point now, they're just left into a 3 versus 4, but they've got control of the bomb site once again. They can try and plant it. 20 seconds as they are able to hammer it back through. MVP keeping themselves alive. Somehow the cheeky strike from mousesports, the well-timed affair, was a great start to open it up. But can they now close it down, secure another chapter as they respond back towards the site, attempting to mount the retake. A further kill picked up from Woxic and his trusty 5-7 as he's slaughtering. They're charging their way through. They get detected though, Ben, but it's not going to work out. Rops and Carrigan, a killer piece. Another round secured for Mouse. Huge play from Woxic into the round. Everyone just being able to strike perfectly there.
I just can't believe Woxic, the first person he sees when he comes out of the smoke is the planter. He's like, okay, I'll take that kill. And just as he does that, he runs towards Banana. The Banana guy just dies. Yeah. He's like, yes, I'm out. There's the perfect, sequence of plays, I guess, for that outcome at least.
Everything that could have went right for him.
Yeah. So 13-6. So mousesports eco MVP. MVP eco them back. mousesports then eco them back. And we've still got another force buy because why wouldn't you? You're in a spot where you need rounds. And you also feel like their economy's not going to be that great. But Woxic, he's finally winning these fights.
He's hitting him with the Ferrari peaks, Ben. He didn't even stop moving. Woxic! Give this man a speeding ticket.
Yeah, his sense is a bit quick, isn't it?
Yeah. That's wild. That's actually... if there's a way to open up a round and just, give yourself some extra money for style points, that's definitely the way. And Woxic isn't even done yet. He's still causing mass hysteria. as he's murdering everyone that dares to defy him. Zeph will finally get the kill, though, as he trades him down with the AK-47. Rops falls back towards the site to defend. They do have a huge advantage now going forward, though.
This is an awkward situation. Frozen's just flashed in the archway. I don't think I was going to say, they don't know the players got through, but it doesn't quite matter. Carrigan with the M4A1S, pristine.
Yeah. Calculated, cool, very clean round as well. Woxic just doing what he does best, showing just that level of sheer excellence that he has, that he pulls out at moments, and I mean, that was definitely a bit of a banger. 14-6, MVP, nothing really to play with. They have a flashbang going into this round. That is absolutely it. So maybe just a shock and all play, try and do something just together. It's probably your best bet.
It's going to be an all banana play. That one Molotov is through. They have to go right
nades.
through it. It's easy.
Yeah, everyone has taken so much damage as well from the utility. At that point, they walk into Chris's gun. They just fall over as soon as they see it. And that is everyone made quick work of. At this point, MVP, they're really going to struggle. If they want to be able to actually win this and keep themselves alive in the series, they're going to need to win every round flawlessly from this point forward. If not, mousesports will take this as a 2-0, and I definitely say that looks to be the way this is going to go now.
The crazy thing is, like, that round, if you wanted a way to figure out how to deal with an anti-eco on banana,
yeah,
that's the grenades you need to throw. Molly close wall, you just nade the close wall as well. You're not going to get rushed back all the way or anything.
Well, here we are into what potentially could be the final round here of this best of 3 between these two sides. MVP setting their gaze instantly towards the A site. No one's gone over towards banana. Everyone just trying to creep their way through apps.
So because of the lack of action towards banana, Rops was very convinced that it could be a apps burst, so he's already smoked it. I think he wants a re-smoke, but Chris should get it in for him just before the flash comes through. Okay, there we go. If they go for this apps burst, it's bad news. Like, Point Home said, bad news. They're just constantly getting delayed over and over again. Frozen can even re-smoke it again if they want to. He actually nades in.
Oh,
Not bad. It's a one-shot headshot with M4 now.
well.
So that flash comes through, but they've not actually burst that. They burst mid instead.
The timing on it, Chris, still so paranoid about the balcony, gets caught looking between 2 angles at once. HSK does all of the work, but he still has so much more of a large task to do. Zeta comes in, but it's only a single frag before they all hit the DECK. And that is going to be the win coming through from mousesports in the end there. The defense towards the A site was too much, and they completely overthrow them, taking the series in a 2-0 fashion, Ben. So clean stuff for mousesports, of course. A pretty